Welcome to the Teagan and Jolyn Cooking Show!
Today we're going to make apple butter cake with brown sugar buttercream.
We're going to start with
the butter
and the sugars.
So we got our brown sugar here. We'll dump that in. And we got our white sugar.
I think we might as well put the salt in too. Good job. We're going to take these and we're going to beat them until they're light and fluffy. Sometimes she can't get the bowl in.
I can get the one.
Alright, we're going to beat this until it's light and fluffy.
It took about 5 minutes to beat the stuff up so it's nice and fluffy. Now we're going to add the eggs in. We have to do them one at a time.
Okay, that might be two at a time.
This is one at a time.
3 eggs. And 4 eggs. We might be doing a cooking show, but this will be the cooking show you watch that actually scrapes out their bowls.
Yes. After we're done mixing that, we will put in the apple butter and the milk. Which one should we do first? I'm going to go with the milk. And then the apple butter.
Good job.
I love baking.
I love baking with you.
It's hard to get the bottom stuff.
I think you've done a good job.
Which one's slow? 2?
Just while we're waiting for that to cream together, we're going to mix together our flour. Do you remember what this was?
Salt and our baking powder.
Baking powder. And what's in here?
Cinnamon and
Nutmeg.
nutmeg.
We're going to whisk those together. We forgot to prep our cake pans, and so Tiggy's going to cut these out, and then I will grease and flour the edges of the pan to make sure that these come out easily for us. And now it's time to
put our wet things into our dry things.
Other way around. Dry ingredients
into the wet ingredients. It says to add it in 3 steps.
First edition. Oh boy. Stir it just a little bit. Second edition.
And finally, 3rd edition.
This is the loud edition. Stir in this last edition.
It smells good.
Now we can take it out.
Flour all over the place. I'm going to scrape off the edges because they've got flour up on the edges. I'm going to give it a little bit of a mix so I can get all the flour that was up too high for the mixer to get.
definitely not a real cooking show, as you can see. Making sure every little bit of batter is off of the beaters and mixed in so that we get the full cake at the end.
Just like a quarter of the cake.
I think that's one of the things that drives me nuts about watching cooking shows. I love them, but when you see them pull a beater out and just lay it aside and it's so full of cake batter or whatever it is that they're mixing, it's like, oh, that's a whole cupcake there. All right, are we ready to put it into our prepared pans?
Mm-hmm.
How did we prepare our pans?
We put the pans on paper, and then I got Mom a pencil and she traced the bottom of them. Then I cut one circle and she cut the other circle.
So we have parchment paper in the bottom. That's what type of paper that is. Don't use any paper.
Yes, use all types of paper.
Math homework works really well.
Yes.
And now
we're gonna put the batter into the pans.
So maybe we could start with a scoop in each. What do you think?
Yeah.
And then we could just keep going back and forth?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yep. Is this going to be a 2-layer cake?
It's going to be a 2-layer cake.
Yummy.
Again, gotta get all the batter off.
All of it. Or else you're
Do you want to start spreading it out in the pans for me?
Yeah. Or if you don't get all the batter off, you're going to end up with a half cake. Gotta get each side even.
And this would be why I wash my hands like
30
times while making cookies or a cake. Because sometimes you just gotta get your fingers in there. Spreading it around without spreading it up the sides of the pan.
Now I'm gonna move on to the next one. I love the feel of it. It just feels so smooth.
And now we're ready to stick this into the oven for
25 to 30 minutes. And now we wait.
This is the real cooking show because I'm going to do dishes that we have made because we're baking, and Teagan is going to make lunch. Because this is a real cooking show, we've cleaned up the mess that we made. The cakes are not quite done, just checked them. I washed the dishes.
I'm not here.
Teagan's having lunch, and I just sifted my icing sugar, getting the butter ready to make our icing so that we can ice our cake later after it has come out and it's cooled.
Now since I've finished lunch, I can help make the icing.
While we're waiting for the cakes to finish baking, we're going to go ahead and make our icing. We've got our butter creamed up.
We're not going to make as much icing as it says because we don't need that much icing.
We're going to mix in 1 cup of icing sugar at a time. Ready for icing sugar clouds?
I can't see! Let's try to get it. 2 cups. Whoops.
It should just be the last of it now. Snowing! As you can see, it's very stiff. So this is where we're going to add the cream and the molasses. The molasses is what gives it the brown sugar flavor because brown sugar has molasses in it and you wouldn't want to use brown sugar in an icing because it would be really gritty.
Grandpa would love this.
Yeah, he loves molasses. So we'll start with 2 tablespoons of whipping cream.
Wouldn't it make it? It's going to make it all nice and fluffy.
And then I only have blackstrap molasses, not fancy molasses because I'm kind of a purist when it comes to molasses. So I'm not going to put the full 1.5 tablespoons in. I'm just going to start with around 1 tablespoon.
It's like syrup. Black syrup. Oh, it's chocolate.
Do you want to taste it? Okay.
Interesting.
We taste things while we cook. So now we're going to turn this on. Now that we have clean hands, we're going to turn this on and we're going to beat it until it's nice and fluffy. Just start with one. Let's check on our cakes. Perfect. This is the consistency that we're looking for. Light and fluffy and easy to spread. We're setting our cakes out to cool for a few minutes before attempting to remove them from the pans. And there they are. Our icing is ready, our cakes are cooling. So we're going to just get as much of this as we can off of the beaters. It smells so good in here. Wait, can you smell the cakes?
Mm-hmm.
It smells like fall. And guess what job you get?
The best job of the world.
Maybe we should have a bakery. You could be my liquor offer and assistant. Mm-hmm. We're on to taking the cakes out of the pans. So you take your knife and you run it around the edge. You can just slide it. It's okay if you slide, not hard. And if you go this way, hold it and just slide gently. Go ahead. Hand on the cake, flip it over. We have a special guest. Ta-da! It is now the Teagan, Addison, and Mom cooking show. She's home from school. I'll take it out so we don't risk it breaking your cake or anything, okay? Can you smell that, Addison? We are on to the final stage of making the cake, and that is
Icing it.
And we have extra help, so I don't have to do it anymore because I've got help. So, first cake.
Now we're doing the bottom?
Yep, you usually do the bottom. All right, you girls have to work together. So I'm going to put part of the icing on. And you're going to spread it around.
Hold on.
You can turn the plate.
Oh yeah. Let's turn it this way. Hey, come over here. Oh, look.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Trying to decide if it's flat enough. Don't lick anything. No licking.
Maddie. Look at it's on my finger.
Okay, you can lick your finger. Okay, here comes the rest of the icing.
Do we get to spread it around the edges too?
Yeah, spread it out to the edge.
Like around here. I took a whole bite of it. Oh, yeah, let's do the top first. This is just okay. And turn it. cool, doesn't it?
So what you usually do is you take it from the middle, like this, and you push it out. And then you can push it down.
This is what happens when it's take it like swirls, Daddy. Kicking it off the plate messed up. She stuck it onto my arm. How do you sweep it down like that? Because whenever we try, it turns out bad. Like this? Let's make it funny. Here. No! That can ruin it. You said not gonna ruin it. It looks like what do you call it? The pea. Stop! She keeps sticking it to my arm. Now my arm's so sticky.
And that is, what kind of cake? Apple butter.
Cake with a brown sugar
frosting. Thanks for watching.
Remember to give us a thumbs up. And remember to, on the end of the video, after what you made, subscribe. Subscribe.